Hello everybody, welcome to Off Grit, a channel that's dedicated to helping you live a lifestyle of self-sufficiency. Today's video is going to be about taking railroad spikes and making handles out of them. And of course, I always have to find my tools in the morning, so what I like to do here is look through all my tools and see what I need for the job. So I have it all laid out here. Got my welding equipment here, apron, gloves, sleeves, mask, etc, etc. And today we're going to be using a stick welder. This is the Deco 160 amp, and it's a good little welder. It'll be perfect for this job. And I like to use the E6013 sticks and spray paint black. And if you can get one, a cutoff saw is nice to have. You don't have to have one for this job, but they're handy. And of course my handy dandy grinder. And with the grinder I have all the little doodads that I talked about yesterday's video, and definitely need cutoff wheels, those 4.5 inch, depending on what size grinder you have. And there's my little slag brush. It's good to have a couple drills handy. Because this is going to be a two-part video. So this video we're not going to be dealing with the bolts here, but in the second video you'll see why I have all this stuff. My welding chalk, and this is a self-tapping, or I'm sorry, a tap and die bit, but we'll talk about that in the second video. And I like to have a vise ready because it's always handy to have a vise. And of course a fire extinguisher, because I have caught on fire on more than one occasion while welding. Now what happened was, let's say you run out of gas for your generator and you go to fill the gas up, you spill a little bit on your pant leg, you go back to welding, there you go, you catch on fire. And then here is the magnet, so I'm getting ready to go, and I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do here. So first I like to go over to my boneyard. This is like a scrap yard that I made over here, where I have a bunch of scrap steel, and I've been saving railroad spikes for years, and I'll just go through here and find the ones I want. And it's pretty simple. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make cuts here. I take my chalk and I measure out, you know, how big I want the handle to come out from the door. So that just depends. And then this is the first way to do it. You can do it with just your grinder and a cutoff wheel. You put it in the vise and you just cut it like this. Pretty simple. And then of course there's the easy way to do it. That's why I like this cutoff saw, also known as a chop saw. And then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some scrap pieces of strip steel, whatever you want to call it, and these are going to be where you attach them to the door on the first method. The second video we're going to have a different method of doing it, but this is going to work for what I need them for. And just measure, put them together, and chop away. Chop, chop, chop. Alright, so now that I have everything all chopped up, I sort out all the pieces here, and I just take a quick look over to see if anything needs to be leveled out, because sometimes when you're cutting metal, it'll, you know, doesn't always cut straight. So there's a couple pieces that I do need to grind, so that's where the grinder's going to come in. And as you can see here, I'm just going to be grinding some metal down, smoothing the edges and all that good stuff. Then I put the holes in for attaching the handles to the doors. And now I get to weld, yay! So here I am welding all the parts together, and I'm just using a stick welder. It's also good practice for me because I hadn't stick welded in a long time, and I'm definitely a little rusty on it, so this is a good way to practice. And more welding. Isn't it just fun to watch? Alright, so now that I got the pieces all welded up, I'm going to take them back to clean them off with a different attachment for the grinder, more of a smooth sander, and then I'm going to paint them. And of course you can paint them any color you want, but black seems to work for me here. Another thing you can do with these is, if you really just want the natural look or you want them clean, you can actually take some acid and water, like muriatic acid and water, and soak them in that, and that'll get a lot of the rust and the scale off of them, and it'll give you like a cleaner look. But of course, the nicer the railroad ties, the better that's going to turn out. And over here I actually made an extra hook for my door, so I could hang like keys and maybe a dog leash or something on it, so that's kind of neat. And that's it. It's just going to dry now, and once they're all dried up, I'll hang them up. Alright, so here you can see me putting the handle on, and actually I'm using a special bit to make sure I center the screw holes, and here you can see them here. You can find them on Amazon, but basically you use them for hinges or any types of holes really. And here I'm actually going to show you how it works. It has a spring in there. You push down on it and it pushes out the bit, and they come in different sizes, so good to get a variety of different sizes for that. Alright, so here it is, folks. It's finally finished, and we will be back for part 2. And in the meantime, have a great week. Talk to you soon.